What if I told you this simple act of looking at your phone right now connects you to a secret purpose that's hiding in the glass? And what if the tiny hole on the cap of a common BIC pen isn't there to prevent the pen from drying out, but is actually an unexpected design feature saving human lives globally? We interact with countless objects, foods, and routines every single day, completely oblivious to the incredible stories or bizarre scientific truths they hold just beneath the surface. Get ready to challenge everything you thought you knew about your mundane surroundings. This isn't just a list of trivia. This is a deep dive into the engineering, the history, and the shocking secrets embedded in the things that make up your modern life. You're about to discover why airplane food tastes so bad, the mysterious origin of that common thumbs-up emoji, and the truly unsettling facts about the dust accumulating in your home. This knowledge will permanently change the way you look at the mundane items resting on your desk or in your kitchen cabinet. The goal here is simple: to make you stop, rewind, and share this with the person next to you. We've ranked these facts from mind-boggling to absolutely mind-blowing, saving the biggest shock for the very end of the countdown. You'll want to stick around to uncover the truth about the expiration date on something you think never expires. So, if you're ready to pull back the curtain on the secrets hiding in plain sight and finally join the small group of people who know the real purpose of these items, then you're in the right place. Don't forget to tap the like button right now. It helps us expose more of these hidden truths to everyone else who needs to know them. We are kicking off the countdown now with fact number 10, which reveals a bizarre truth about the planet's favorite yellow fruit. Starting off our list at number 10, let's talk about the banana, that perfectly portable source of potassium you probably ate this morning. The simple fact is, eating a banana actually exposes you to a measurable amount of radiation. This sounds like something out of a science fiction movie, but it's a very real chemical property of this common food. Bananas are slightly radioactive because they contain high levels of potassium, and naturally occurring potassium includes the unstable isotope potassium-40. Although the dose you receive from one banana is incredibly tiny and completely harmless, much less than you get from your surrounding environment, the measurable reality of it is still astonishing. This biological property leads to the scientific concept known as the banana equivalent dose, a non-official unit used to explain small doses of radiation. The average American consumes nearly 27 pounds of bananas per year, meaning they are continuously, albeit minutely, adding to their natural radiation exposure simply by enjoying their morning smoothie. Think of that every time you see a display of them in the grocery store. It's a natural process, but it certainly puts a new perspective on the fruit bowl. But wait, if the banana is radioactive because of the potassium, what does that mean for other foods or objects that also contain high levels of this element? The subtle truth is, many organic foods we eat every day contribute to this effect, but bananas just happen to be the most famous example. It's a truth hidden in the nutritional label. This leads us nicely to the next fact, which concerns another universal product in your kitchen, one you probably think is totally inert. It's the simple chewing gum that we've all been told takes an unbelievably long time to break down inside the human body. Get ready to find out the real truth behind that alarming playground myth. At number 9, we tackle the old wives' tale that absolutely terrified every kid back in elementary school. The idea that swallowed chewing gum remains stuck in your stomach for 7 agonizing years. This myth has been passed down through generations, making the simple mistake of accidentally swallowing a piece of gum feel like a slow biological catastrophe. The truth, however, is far less dramatic and significantly faster. Your stomach, an incredible organ of acids and muscular movements, is absolutely capable of handling that small piece of gum. While your body cannot digest the gum base itself, the polymers, resins, and waxes that give gum its chewiness, it certainly doesn't remain glued to your stomach lining. The indigestible part simply moves straight through your digestive tract. It passes through just like any other indigestible material, such as corn or seeds, and is expelled from the body. The entire journey takes roughly the same amount of time as the rest of the food you eat, typically a few days at most. The only real danger comes from swallowing an excessive amount of gum, which could cause a blockage, but a single piece? No sweat. The origin of this persistent myth is likely rooted in parental caution, trying to prevent children from swallowing gum purely out of habit and general caution. But the physiological reality is that your internal plumbing is far more robust and efficient than the legend suggests. It's a case where the reality is far less exciting than the fiction. Speaking of things that pass through us quickly, let's look at the actual building blocks of life. Starting with the simplest of them all, water. You buy it in a bottle, it looks pristine, and it certainly doesn't seem like it could ever go bad. But we've all seen them. Those puzzling expiration dates stamped on bottled water. Why do they exist if the water itself is eternal? The answer lies not in the liquid, but in the packaging itself. Here we are at fact number 8. Diving into the baffling mystery of the expiration date stamped right onto your bottle of purified drinking water. Water is, by its nature, inorganic and stable. It doesn't expire in the traditional sense that milk or bread does. Yet every single bottle has a printed date, prompting consumers to replace perfectly good water. The simple and surprising answer is that the date refers not to the water inside, but to the plastic bottle holding it. Over time, the plastic polymers begin to slowly break down and leach trace amounts of chemicals into the liquid. While these amounts are generally safe, they can certainly affect the water's taste. The FDA and most regulatory bodies require an expiration date for bottled products primarily because of this leaching process and for general inventory control and product consistency. It's less about the safety of the water and more about maintaining its advertised quality and flavor profile when sold to the consumer. So the water is technically fine, but the container is the problem. Furthermore, if the bottle is exposed to heat or direct sunlight, this chemical breakdown process accelerates dramatically, leading to a much faster degradation of the water's quality. This is why buying old stock or bottles stored in hot warehouses is generally discouraged, even if the water itself is billions of years old. This leads to a fascinating realization. We are often consuming chemicals released from the very packaging designed to protect our food and drinks. And speaking of things that are always around us but whose nature we misinterpret, let's turn our attention to the air around us, specifically the air that's inside your home. Get ready for a surprisingly gross reality check. Now for fact number 7, which is guaranteed to change how you feel about cleaning your house. The truth about what that fine layer of dust on your furniture truly consists of. When you see those motes floating in a sunbeam, you likely think of dirt or fibers, but the majority of what you are actually looking at is something far more personal. The shocking reality is that most household dust sum estimates put it at up to 70% is composed of dead human skin cells. Every person sheds millions of these cells every single day, and they become a foundational component of the dust that settles on every surface in your home, constantly cycling through your air. It's literally you. This dead skin then becomes the primary food source for microscopic house dust mites, tiny organisms that thrive in warm, humid environments like your bedding and carpets. These mites, which you cannot see, eat the dead skin, and their waste products become another component of the common dust you breathe every day. It's a non-stop biological cycle happening in your living room. So next time you feel the need to wipe down a dusty surface, remember you're not just fighting dirt. You're managing the remnants of yourself and the ecosystem that feeds upon them. It's a strange, unsettling truth of human existence. We are constantly contributing to the dust that surrounds us. This leads perfectly to our next subject, which, like dust, is constantly in motion around us, the humble car tire. We see them everywhere, but few people realize the staggering, unexpected amount of pollution they create, especially compared to the car's engine itself. Moving to fact number 6, we examine the automotive world and the pollution source that most people completely overlook. For decades, the focus has rightfully been on tailpipe emissions and greenhouse gases, but the reality is that the tires on your car are generating massive amounts of overlooked pollution. Studies show that as tires wear down through friction with the road during acceleration, turning, and braking, they shed countless microscopic particles. This tire wear creates thousands of times more mass pollution than is expelled from the car's tailpipe. It's a shocking figure, especially considering the rise of electric vehicles. While EVs eliminate tailpipe emissions, they are generally heavier than gasoline cars, meaning they generate even more tire wear pollution due to the increased friction required to slow and move the vehicle mass. This means the problem of tire dust is set to get significantly worse as the world transitions to electric transportation. The focus has completely missed the undercarriage. These microplastic particles from the tires are now recognized as a major source of microplastic contamination in our environment, washing into waterways and soil. It's a global problem hiding in plain sight, demonstrating that the very act of driving, regardless of the engine type, carries a surprising environmental cost. This overlooked problem is a fantastic example of a known object with an unknown consequence. Now, let's move from the road to the skies and address a common complaint about flying. Everyone knows airplane food tastes bland and often disappointing, but the reason isn't poor cooking. The real culprit is something happening inside your own head, an incredible physiological change. Coming in at number 5, we solve the age-old mystery of why the food served on airplanes always seems so profoundly bland, regardless of the chef. You might think it's cheap ingredients or mass production, but the true reason is a fascinating combination of altitude, cabin pressure, and a dramatic shift in your own biology. Studies conducted by airlines and food scientists reveal that the high altitude and dry air inside a pressurized airplane cabin drastically dull your senses of smell and taste. Specifically, your ability to perceive sweet and salty flavors can drop by as much as 30% once you reach cruising altitude. It's not the food, it's you. The low humidity and changes in air pressure cause your nasal passages to swell and dry out, similar to having a bad head cold, which severely impacts your sense of smell. Since 80% of what we perceive as taste is actually smell, your brain receives incomplete sensory data, making the food seem muted and unappetizing. This is why airline chefs are forced to over-season the food dramatically with intense flavors like curry, ginger, or extra spices to compensate for your temporarily compromised palate. They have to make the food taste too strong on the ground just so it tastes normal at 35,000 feet. This physiological fact about the impact of pressure and environment is truly mind-blowing, revealing how easily our sensory perception can be manipulated by simple changes in our surroundings. But the next fact is even more personal, challenging something you do without thinking thousands of times a day. Get ready for fact number 4, which reveals the strange truth about your own eyes. We've shown you how to clean up your home, but next, get ready for part 2 of this series. We are going to dive deep into a different type of secret that's costing you money every time you buy a new device. You don't want to miss our next video. That's the truth about forever chemicals exposed. I hope this knowledge empowers you to make healthier choices today. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss part 2 of our secret unmasking series. Like this video to help share this crucial health information. And leave a comment below telling me which of the 5 products we revealed shocked you the most. Your support fuels our mission to expose hidden truths. Thank you for watching.